Mahamaya Bhadrakali Mahamaya. Namaste. Today's short on Nad Yoga and related formal presentation as Dhrupad is on a mainstay of this expression, the Meend. Now the Meend is a large subject, and I suspect I'll touch on it in different ways as I continue these little glimpses into understanding. Today's emphasis is on its no-twoness, advait. So if you look at the Meend, it's essentially a continuity of breath, a continuity of Shruti, such that swar are simply artificial data points on an unbroken curve. So you cannot really identify two things. Ma pa ma ri na ra na ra na. And this no-twoness requires us to come back to the heart, to honor the Anahat Chakra. And this centeredness has a technical component in the form of what my late teacher used to call chest pressure. So I perceive a hold somewhat similar to the bandha that we have in pranayam or certain asanas. And this hold is not only in the core area, which also we have, but another one right here in the chest area that directs the sound like a light beam. Or you can say it directs the proportions of the various energy centers, the chakras, such that sound is able to emanate in a certain way, while with this center simply forming, the throat itself simply forming the final delivery nozzle, not really what directs the sound. If I direct the sound from here, I will end up cutting breath and cutting the sound off, which is why you don't hear us do something like na, same mapadhasa movement. We don't sing like that. Suppose the melody would have gone like that. Ma maya maha maya. We don't sing like that because both breath and melody and swar will get chopped off, and you'll get twoness. Now that doesn't mean we're not breathing anywhere. We're breathing through the nostril, as I described in the previous. If you're doing it accurately, you're breathing through the nostril and delivering through the mouth in this cyclical fashion. So breath is of course happening, but even in, let's say, the ma to pa Meend, if I were to go more discrete as in apparently in a step, rather than the continuity of Shruti in between. So if I were to do Ri, that's the first one, and if I were to do Ri, 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 Na. So even in the second way, it seemed discrete, but breath is uninterrupted. Nothing is being cut off at the throat. Right? Now we have gamak, But gamak, if you again observe, is simply the same unbroken mir action at a faster. It's still not cutting from here. The pulsing is happening at the chest, at the heart. So, Dhruva Anhat expressed as Ahat, Dhruva expressed as Pada, your way, whether you want to look at it like that, or look at no-twoness, advait, the mir starts to make sense, and the way sound is expressed starts to make sense. It to the ear that is accustomed to a lot of embellishments, for instance, the murki too. The murki too has its. If you trace it back, there are movements in Nadyog and in the formal presentation as Dhrupad, in which movements of 4 notes or 3 notes are rendered, but they are rendered in the same unbroken sound thread, and applying. You have golai everywhere, roundness everywhere. The curve is everywhere. To the ear that is accustomed to hearing more of the broken ornamentation, this might actually sound more simplistic. But if you were to attempt to render it with the right chest pressure, with that hold, that bandha that I am referring to, you discover quite fascinatingly that it's actually very challenging to deliver sound in that sadharan way. So I hope you have a chance to reflect on this and to try it out. If you're a singer, try it out in your own voice, in your own body system, and explore Naad in this manner. Thank you. Namaste.